What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day, and welcome to the Tundra Dude 34 YouTube channel. If you are new to the channel, welcome aboard. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, share the video, all the good stuff. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know every time I put up a new video or a live stream. The live streams are kind of random, so if you hit that notification bell, you will know the minute we go live, and you could have and share in a great talk with the community about Tundras and everything else we talk about. So welcome aboard, old and new. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today, as always, I like to help out you, the consumer, before you go out there and spend all that money. There is a lot of people out there that want a TRD Pro Tundra, but the problem with the TRD Pro Tundra is they are very expensive, and a lot of dealerships will not come off that MSRP. And some dealerships, especially out west, I feel like this is in California a lot, there are some massive dealer markups on the TRD Pros. So another option, instead of spending all that money on a TRD Pro that some people come up with, is building a TRD Pro. Because the good news, the Toyota Tundra across the line from SR all the way up to the 1794 and then the TRD Pro is fairly the same. Pretty much the same thing. We're missing options here and there, but as far as the truck goes, it's double cabs, it's crew maxes, it's the same frame. It's not like a regular F-150 and a Raptor, which are different when it comes down to frame and everything like that. The trucks are pretty much the same. So the parts from the TRD Pro will fit on any trim level. And places like Sparks Parts sell all these parts for you to build your own Pro if you wanted to. Today, we're going to go over every single part you need to build your own TRD Pro. We're going to go over the pricing. We're also going to see if it makes sense. Does it make sense to spend all the money and then find someone to put the parts on, cost of labor and all that? We will determine everything by the end of this video. Make sure you comment below if you are someone who has done something like this where you tried to build a Pro. If you've been around the channel a long time, you'll know that my first truck on this channel was a 2016 TRD Pro, and then I bought a Platinum next, which we built into a Pro. Called it the Platinum Pro project. The reason I did that is because back then, the Pro was built off of an SR5 platform, so it didn't have a lot in it. So what I wanted to do was buy a high trim Tundra and put all the Pro stuff on it to show you what it would be like. Well, 2019 and up Pro is built more off of a limited trim level, so you get a lot of those options that you didn't get in the 15 to 17 ones. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go over some of the things I have written down. That's why we're sitting down today. Usually I'm standing. I got a notepad in front of me, all this stuff I didn't want to forget to tell you. So the whole point of this thing, like I said, is Pro versus making a Pro. Does it make sense? Pros and cons, all that stuff. We're going over it right now. Number one thing you should know right off the bat, because some of you may say, why would anyone want to buy a Tundra and then build it into a Pro versus just buying a Pro? Incentives. Deals. Those are the two main words I want to go with first. You cannot get incentives on a TRD Pro. Every time you read these great incentives available for the Tundra, it always says in fine print on the bottom, excludes the TRD Pro. All right, and a lot of dealers, like we talked about in the beginning of the video, will not deal with you on a TRD Pro. They won't come off of MSRP, and if they do, if you're one of the lucky ones who gets them to, it's like $500 or $1,000. It's nothing too crazy. Now, these other trims always have cash back, always have special APR. If you buy something like an SR5, something that, you know, is kind of high volume compared to a TRD Pro, they'll probably deal with you a little bit more. So you do have options up front. Now, in making these prices, I pretty much went right off of MSRP and everything like that, because what I had to do in order to get you some good pricing information on this, I had to go on Toyota.com and build my own truck to start with. Before we start adding parts and see what the price of the truck comes out to. So we're going all off of MSRP. I'm not including any incentives. I'm not including any sales tax on the truck. This video is basically just to point you in the right direction and give you a general idea of what it may cost. Labor charges are different all over the country. Getting the parts put on and everything, getting the parts shipped to you, all of that. One thing, sparksparts.com does have a promo code from me, TundraDude34, and it saves you 5% site-wide. And they have everything available for the Pro except the one thing that I'm going to talk about at the very end. But anyway, let's go over what I built. So even though the TRD Pro is built off of a limited platform, I selected an SR5 Tundra for this. And the reason I did that is today's SR5, you do get a few options here and there. I ended up doing a, what do they call it? Leather package with options. So I upgraded my seats inside to leather, which is the SR5 upgrade package. And it gives you like the bucket seats. It gives you the 38-gallon tank and everything. Premium audio. You know, with the dynamic navigation and all that 8-inch screen. What I'm losing by not starting with a limited is no moonroof, no heated seats, no JBL system. The reason I went SR5 is because the whole point here is to be cost effective. And if I was building a limited, it wouldn't be cost effective. The price shoots up when I started to build the limited in this way and started adding all the parts. So I can tell you right off the bat, if you're going to buy a limited and build it into a pro, you'll probably save money in the long run by just buying a pro at that point, unless you could get some crazy deal on a regular limited. But here's what we did. So I did an SR5. It is not the TRD off-road SR5 because there's no reason to get that, because we're taking off the skid plate in the front, we're taking off the Bilstein shocks, all that is coming off. So I'm saving my money up front. We're doing an SR5, we're gonna do a Crew Max, because the price that I'm trying to get under here is what I have sitting in my driveway outside, a 2020 TRD Pro. It cost me $56,000 and change was the MSRP price of that truck. So my goal is to come in under that. So we built an SR5, we built the Crew Max to match what's outside, picked the 5.7 liter engine with the 4x4, of course. Color I went with was super white. That was the first one that came up, so I just went with it. I wanted to go with the common color. I didn't want to go with any of the special colors because you can always find the parts for super white. And sometimes, I will be honest with you, when you're actually looking at some of these parts, when you have to buy the hood bulges and everything, if you go to a Barcelona red or something like that, they charge you even more. So we're going super white, once again, to keep the cost down. As I said before, we went with the leather package with options, SR5. It's pretty much the SR5 upgrade package. Larger 38-gallon tank, the premium audio 8-inch screen. These Tundras have push-button start now and all that, so we're already taken care of there. And because it's the leather package, it's closer to that limited that we want to be at anyway, right? All right, so here are some of the things you need to turn your vehicle into a pro. You need the grill, okay? We're going to go over price in a minute, but let me just go down the list. You need the grill. You need the body color bulge that goes around the grill, and you're going to need the sensor cover because your Toyota Safety Sense sensor is going to have to move a little bit, and you're going to need the cover to go right in front of that. You're going to need the TRD Pro wheels, the dual exhaust, the Rigid Industry fog lights, the badge overlay, which are the black badge overlays, because if you know the TRD Pro badges, they're all blacked out. You're going to need that package. The Fox suspension that comes on the TRD Pro, the TRD Pro skid plate, the TRD shifter. I also put in the tires. Depends on, well, we bought an SR5 to make this build, and we didn't have the tires that were available on there. Now, even though most of you, if you're going to build your own Pro, you're going to go with your own tire, you're going to go with a better tire, because one of my major cons about the TRD Pro is it doesn't come with the right tire, the right look. So when you do it, you're probably going to go with a better tire, but to keep it nice and even, we did the Michelin LTX AT2s and the 275/65 R18, which are available on there, so we'll talk about that. One thing I did not include here, and this is where you want to determine how far you want to go with it. I did not include bumper end caps, because on our SR5 that we're about to build, I have chrome front and rear bumper end caps, okay? You can buy covers for it, but I'm not including it in this. I'm just going off of the specific parts that are on the Pro. The door handles on the SR5 are black, and the mirror covers are black too. So we're not going to have to do anything with that. On the Pro, the mirror covers are actually body colored, but we're just going to keep them black because it's fine, no big deal. The white and black go together really well, the contrast and everything, so I'm just going to leave it alone and not include it in this price. Like I said, the whole point here is to save a little money. Also, you can get the convenience package in an SR5 if you wanted to get that blind spot monitoring and the parking sensors, but because the Pro doesn't have that in America, in Canada, there's blind spot monitoring and parking sensors and stuff on the Pros, but in the US, there's not. I ended up skipping it. All right, so let's go over the price. By the way, the truck that I built online with all the stuff we talked about was $43,640. That is what we're starting with. That is our, it was actually a 2021. 2021 SR5 Crew Max 5.7 liter 4x4, no TRD off-road package, $43,640. Once again, there's no tax included. There's no incentives attached. I'm just going right off of what Toyota.com told me. So, you know, keep an open mind with that. But that's our starting price, $43,640. So the grill with the bulge and the sensor cover, remember, super white. We had to get that surround. $857 to start. The second thing we had to get were the TRD Pro wheels. And those are $571 per wheel, which came out to $2,284. Next thing you need is one of the greatest things on any Tundra, and I strongly suggest you look into it, the TRD dual exhaust. And that price for both kits, it comes in two kits, a tailpipe kit and a muffler kit. In total, $1,020. The next is the Rigid Industry fog lights. Okay, they come on the 2019 and up TRD Pro. They are $764. Now, before you go out and spend that $764, I included it in here because that comes on the Pro. But before you go spend all that money, just remember, you already have LED fog lights that come on your truck if you buy 2018 and up, SR5 upgrade package and up. So you may want to skip that and save the $764, but because it is on a Pro, I put it on here. So $764 for the Rigid Industry fog lights. The black overlay kit for all the badging is around $150. I couldn't find the package on there, but it's around $150, so we'll go with that. And they literally pop right over your badges, and they actually look like a badge. You can't see that there's a cover over the chrome. They also sell the badges just straight up in black if you wanted to pull off the chrome ones and put the black ones on. But this, I've used the overlay kit on my Platinum. It worked fine. It never started to peel off or anything, so I strongly suggest going for the ease and the convenience, go with the $150 and do the overlay kit. Fox suspension all the way around. That is the thing you need most. That's pretty much the heart and soul of the Pro, right? $3,166. Not cheap for that Fox suspension. The next thing is the TRD Pro skid plate, $390. The shifter is $85, and they make two different TRD shifters. One is all black with the red stitching. The other one is black with a little bit of like a matte silver on it with the red stitching as well, but they're both $85. Last but not least on this list is the tires, ladies and gentlemen. Michelin LTX AT2s, 275/65 R18. That is what is on the Pro. That is what is on the TRD Off-Road as well. When you get it, the TRD Off-Road with the 1794 Limited or the SR5, it all comes with these tires. And I went on Tire Rack to check the price of that. $251 each, $1,004 for the tires all the way around. Like I said, you will probably end up going and getting yourself a better looking tire. There are plenty out there. One of the first things a lot of TRD Pro owners do is they go buy a better tire. So I would expect most of you to do that. Again, I'm leaving off the bumper end caps because that's not necessarily something. You could have it if you need it. A lot of people don't mind the chrome end caps. I see a lot of these TRD Pro builds to get their Tundras looking like the TRD Pros, and a lot of people leave them off. But it's up to you. It's up to you. I believe they're, don't quote me, $640 or so, so we could always tack that on at the end. All right, so not including the bumper end caps we just talked about, the total price of all these parts before shipping, before installation, before tax, all that, $9,720 for the parts. And if you remember, the price of our truck was $43,640. So before tax, shipping, all that stuff, $53,360. So that right there is quite close to our $56,000 just to buy a Pro straight up. With the Pro, obviously, you get the inlay in the back that says TRD Pro on the side of the bed. A lot of people love that. That is a big deal for a lot of people that buy the Pros if you don't care. You could still save a little money here, though. I don't want you to get discouraged if you're someone who wants to build a Pro. So you've come in here just about $2,000 and change under where you want to be. If you add those bumper end caps, you're around $2,000 to the good. Don't forget, TundraDude34 promo code saves you 5%, so you would be able to save a nice chunk of change with that promo code. Also, you're probably going to work a good deal on your SR5 that you started with in the beginning of this. So you probably still will come in a few thousand under, even with everything with installation and all that, but you'd have to look around to find someone who would want to or be able to install all those parts. So this is where you guys got to go down in the comments and let me know, is it worth it to do all this? Is it worth it to go buy a lower level Tundra and then do a massive Pro build on this? I know one of the things you guys are going to say right off the bat. You're going to say, I don't need all of the stuff that's directly on the Pro. You'll go and maybe you'll save a little money on getting yourself a different suspension than the Fox suspension. You may get different, cheaper wheels. Toyota wheels in general, the TRD ones, no matter what year, are very, very, very expensive. At one point when I had my Platinum, I was going to buy the 2019 and up TRD Pro wheels, and $571 a wheel is nuts. The wheels I ended up buying for my Platinum came in at about $600 for all four of them. So for one wheel. I got 4 wheels, and I really like them, and they look good. So there is some ways you could save money if you go off the beaten path and get stuff that is not on the Pro. But I kind of, I tried the best I could to keep it as close to a Pro as possible. But you got to let me know. So let's go over this one more time. The price of the SR5 43640. The price of the parts $9,720. Both of them are before any taxes, incentives, anything like that. And the total here we got was $53,360. And I was trying to come in under $56,000, which is what my 2020 TRD Pro cost. All right, so it's pretty close. I want to know how you guys feel about this. This is what it's all about here. Is it worth doing all this work to build the Pro? If you're someone who can install your own parts, you will definitely be able to save a little bit of money. You're going to have to see, if you're not one of those people, you're going to have to see what shop would do this for you. There are some shops that say, nah, that's too much, I'm good. And you also want to probably keep it in a Toyota shop, because then you get the parts warranty and everything like that, and you get a backing from the Toyota dealership that you did the work in. So you'll probably want to stick with that, but you got to spend a little more money if you want to do it at a Toyota dealership. So really looking forward to your comments here. I hope I helped the few people that were asking about building a Pro versus buying a Pro for the less hassle aspect of trying to find a Pro. And if you didn't want to pay MSRP or deal with any of that, you can get incentives on stuff on the trims that aren't the TRD Pro. So looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. That was a one take, that entire video. I can't believe that. I didn't even have coffee, so I'm pretty proud of myself right now. Let me know what you think. Which way would you go at that point? Would you just buy a Pro or would you build a Pro? I don't know which way I would go. I've done both. If you have a shop that is willing to do all the work for you, and maybe you catch a deal on some of those parts by buying it from that Toyota dealership, because sometimes they'll work with you on a little things. If you're bringing them in thousands of dollars, they may cut off a few $100 here and there. We have the promo code is SparksTundra34. That'll save you a little bit of money. It all depends on what you want to do. Some people like to buy their truck and do work to it, make it their own. TRD Pro, it's a TRD Pro. It's a sweet looking truck. I love the TRD Pro. Tundra enthusiast that I am. I've had a lot of different trims. I really wanted that army green, and that's why I got it. But the build that I did on the Platinum, which was pretty much all of this, it was expensive, but it looked awesome at the end, and I was really happy with it. And it was unique because it was what I wanted it to be, what we talked about for so long now, taking that SR5 platform TRD Pro. I wish it had more options in it. Boom. Bought a Platinum, put all the TRD Pro stuff on it. So that's your top-of-the-line luxury Tundra with all that Pro stuff on it. Best of both worlds. But let me know what you think. We're going to do a feature playlist like we always do at the end of these videos, and I have to do the Platinum Pro. That's what we're talking about right now. When I did my Platinum build, click on that playlist and check it out. Those are all the videos I made since I bought the truck and all the parts I installed all the way through to make it as close to the Pro as possible. We also added a Magnuson supercharger on that beast, so go give that a check. There's also going to be a logo of Tundra Dude 34 on it. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Make sure you hit that and subscribe to the channel. Happy to have you, happy to talk. It's always a good time here, nice positive place. So thank you for being here on this Saturday. Please go enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will talk to you soon. Until next time, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook at Tundra Dude 34, TundraDude34 @gmail.com. You guys have a great day. Be safe. Talk to you soon.